morning, everyone. Today, I am going to report about the poem entitled The World is Too Much With Us by William Wordsworth. So let's proceed. The world is too much with us, late and soon, getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. Little we see in nature that is ours. We have given our hearts away as we go. The sea that bears her bosom to the moon. The winds that will be howling at all hours, and are upgathered now like sleeping flowers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. It moves us not, great God. I'd rather be a pagan, suckled in a without worry. So might I, standing on this pleasant lake, have winces that would make me less forlorn. Have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, or hear old Triton blow his wretched horn. Now let us discuss the first line and the second line. The world is too much with us, late and soon. Getting and spending will lay waste our powers. In this line, the poet used the line or sentence, the world is too much with us, with the term or the word written, the world, meaning worldly things or worldly possessions. We are so much putting so much attention and thinking that these worldly things are the valuable things that we need to have in our lives, and that we are spending too much attention, too much time, energy, and effort on gaining and developing and attaining all of these worldly possessions. For example, the money, the house, the properties, the cars, etc. So in this line, the poet wants to say that for the people, the money and and any other worldly possessions are far more important than what it should be. So let's proceed to the third and fourth line. Little we see in nature that is ours. We have given our hearts away as our big boon. In these two lines, the poet wants to say that we, people, are spending too much time on acquiring worldly possessions that we are now becoming blinded with the true beauty of our nature. So now let's proceed to the fifth to eighth line. The sea that bears her bosom to the moon, the winds that will be howling at all hours, and are upgathered now like sleeping flowers. For this, for everything, we are out of tune. In these lines, the poet used personification to describe how beautiful the nature is. So it paints a picture of the beautiful nature that the people or we are missing out by being caught up with the worldly possessions around us. Now let's move on to the ninth and tenth line. So in this line, it moves us not, great God. I'd rather be a pagan suckled in a prayed out world. In these lines, the poet swears an oath, and he also appeals to God that he would rather be a pagan than to be distracted with worldly possessions or material things, as to render himself for not being able to see the true beauty of our nature. Now let's move on to the 11th and 12th line. So might I, standing on this pleasant lane, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn. In these lines, the poet wants to say that he would rather be poor, helpless, and connected with nature, rather than be rich, powerful, but alienated from it. Now let's move on to the last two lines. Have sight of Proteus rising from the sea, or hear old Triton blow his rattled horn. In these two final lines, the poet refers to two gods, which are Proteus and Triton. Proteus was known as the pagan god who was able to tell the future, and Triton was a pagan god who was able to calm the sea. And in these two final lines, the poet implies that as the speaker is looking out at the sea, he was able, long enough, he was able to see Proteus and Triton. So now to conclude the poem, This World is Too Much with Us by William Wordsworth, it is all about the vices of we human beings. We are so caught up with the material things or worldly possessions that we forgot or we are blinded by the true universal natural beauties of our surroundings. In the course of getting and spending our time for an artificial, temporary, and inanimate things. Thank you for listening